Hey guys, Thunderclan Gaming here. This time we are going to make a short guide on how to hit certain caps in Arena. So we'll be starting from Fighter 3 and we'll be going up all the way to Conq 2 where I am. So basically, a lot of people say don't work on Arena first, work on your PvE teams. Well, I agree with that. However, it's gotta start somewhere, right? So when do you start working on PvP? In my opinion, it should be right after you can auto Giant Speed 10. Basically, around a month after you can auto Giant Speed 10, you should get sufficient amount of ruins that can hit you to the Fighter 3 cap, and you should be able to hold your ground in that scenario. Basically, the ruin sets that drop from giants is very good for arena offense. So even my current speed arena offense has 3 people on Swift, Fatal, and Despair, and the rest are just broken sets anyway. So basically, I want to talk a little bit about AD. So anything below high Conq 1 I mean around like rank 5000, anything below this, AD doesn't really matter that much. All you need to do is make your team look scary, and then you make some obstacles for the opponent to try to pass. So the more obstacles you can make, the less the opponent will hit you, because they may lack a certain counter to one of your monsters. Anything above high Conq 1, you will need Will, Shield, Nemesis, and a good team comp. We'll go talk about that a little bit later. So let's start with Fighter 3. How do you get Fighter 3? I'm going to assume that you have a 6-star Veramos and a 6-star Bella. Basically, the next step you do is go join a guild, and then get your Ifrits. Theomars works, Amir works, even Tassarin works. After that, you should start working on your Dragons team, and then do some TOA for crystals and some summons. Theoretically speaking, you can pass TOA with pure Giants runes. You don't need Dragon's runes at all. You might say, oh my god, I need Violent on my Veramos and Violent on my Bella. Well, yes, it's always good to have them on those sets. However, if you really cannot do Dragon's B10, might as well just put them on Swift until later, when you switch the Swift set out for some good Violent ruins. So in this level, the key units are all immunity givers. So any immunity buffer here is good because of low buff removal in this specific part of Arena. So the units that include AoE immunity are Chloe, Delphoy, Vela Jewel, Draco, which is the Fire Brownie Magician, Fedora, which is a Water Magic Death Knight, Wusa, which is a Water Pioneer, Beta, which is Dark Mermaid, and finally Pontos, which is a Light SC Emperor, Nat 5. But yeah, basically at this part of the game, you just want to ruin these monsters Swift, make them as fast as possible, buff immunity first turn, and then you'll pretty much your team will be pretty safe from the opponent. The way to go is you would usually want to stay in around like Fighter 1, at least Fighter 1 during the week, and then you probably want to start pushing on Friday, and then work your way up to Fighter 3, and then hit, if possible, get your points up a little bit so that you have room for the last day on Sunday. The reasoning why I say that you should stay in Fighter 3 at least throughout the week is that if you have the ability to do so, farming in a fighter is a lot better than farming in Challenger, because 4 points per win is a lot more than 3 points per win. Basically, you'll get your glory buildings a lot faster, and that will help you progress on later. Yeah, so a typical Fighter 3 8-0 can look like Veramos, Bella, an immunity giver, and a nuker. In fact, the first time I got Conq 1 was with this exact team. Veramos, Bella, Chloe, and Laika at that time. That was in August 2015. So not many people's runes were extremely good back then. And then I could only start farming Dragon's B10. I got Conq 1 way before I could auto Dragon's B10. So it's definitely possible to get Conq 1. Nowadays, it's a lot harder because people progress more, and there are a lot of other like new players playing, and so some of them spend some money, so they progress faster. So it will be a lot faster to use this team to get to Conq 1. Which brings us to the next stage. How do you get Conq 1? So, if you're just getting into Conq 1 or trying to get into Conq 1, then you don't need a speed AO yet. Why? Because there is no rush hour in lower state brackets of Conq 1. Basically, your AD needs to look intimidating. You have to bring some obstacles for opponents to get past. So if you bring immunity, you force opponent to bring buff removal. If you have a speed lead, those with speed lead cannot fight you. If you have CC, you force the opponent to bring immunity, and so on and so forth. Attack bar increase is very good, and unpredictability is also very good. That's why Theomars is decent in Conq 1, and Orion is really good there as well. So for the PvE progress, you should be farming dragons for some violent runes to put on your AD monsters, so that you don't get wrecked that much on your defense side. Because if you only win offenses and then your defense keeps getting hit and keeps losing, then you're just gonna go down in points instead of going up. In this case, you pretty much want to stock up on the 13 wings if you don't want to refill. And yeah, slow and steady wins the race. Your slow AO clear is fine. And however, it will be nice if you had some new units compared to your Fighter 3 part. Like Lucian will be really good, Tyron's really good, Orion, Chasun are all really good. Also, get all of your Ifrits as soon as possible. I'm not kidding when I'm saying that all 3 Ifrits are extremely good. Theomars is super good for a single target. He's also good on Guild War defense. Tessarion is good on Guild War offense, where you have to silence those annoying passives, and Amir is good in arena offense, where you can stack up your AoEs and then let him do the final hit. So, one thing to know is that you have to do your wings regularly. You need to get into Conq 1 range before you sleep on Saturday, so that there isn't as much pressure on Sunday. When you wake up, you just kind of like do some wings, but just never let the wings be at 10, which is my current situation. Never let the wings be 10. Just always keep it going on cooldown, so that you can get more wings, you can get more chances to hit. You don't need to hit yourself all the way up to really high, because stronger players will identify your weak defense and hit you. So you should keep 13 wings for rush hour if you want to do rush hour. If you don't want to do rush hour, basically do it 1 hour before you sleep, so that you have some room for the opponent to hit you, and then you won't drop back out of Conqueror. Yeah, so next up, we can talk about the AD and AO for Conq 1. Theoretically speaking, it can be the same. You can pretty much get low Conq 1 with just 1 AO. However, you should put your best runes on them. If you don't have some specific monsters, all you have to do is farm some runes to make up for it. There are not that many good defenses in around like 8,000, 9,000 range of rank that is actually good. So you don't really need the OP monsters like Xia, Ra, Chiwu. You don't need them. Libli, all those things, Lucian, you don't need these. All you need is Veramos, Bella, something that can heal, which is Chloe is fine, Chasun is fine. Something that can do damage, like Theomars. Like, this team can get you to Conq 1 no problem, if your ruins are on par with the other Conq 1 players, that is. So yeah, next up we will be talking about Conq 2. Conq 2 is where I am at the moment, and I'm kind of stuck here because I don't have any other speed lead other than Tyron, and I find his damage is very lackluster. Also, I don't have a buff removal except Aquila, and I really didn't want to build Aquila because I wanted a Praha, Juno, Tiana, Triton, any of these Nat 5s whose AoE strip has an extra effect. So for Conq 2, at this point you should be farming Necro, Giants, and Dragons. You should have at least 2 to 3 or 4 arena offense teams that can help you fight all kinds of arena defenses. For example, you want a speed AO, you can have a slow will shield AO, you can have a defense based AO, all of these things work. Double Lucian, Bernard Megan, Galleon Bernard, double AoE, something that can clear wings in under 40 seconds. These teams will help you gain the advantage in terms of clearing wings compared to the opponent, who will have problems clearing your defense if you put your monsters on good ruins. This is why I say Will, Shield, and Nemesis are all really good for this stage of the game. Rush Hour exists for this part of the arena, so you will want your AD to look really strong so that the opponent does not like hit you that much. My personal AD, which looks like this, in Rush Hour I swap out Theomars for DS, and this AD gets hit average around 3 times or 4 times during Rush Hour in Conq 2 range. That's why I don't even have to do Rush Hour, and I can still stay in Conq 2 if I wanted to. Obviously I do it in order to make sure I do, but if I don't, theoretically speaking, I should be able to stay in that range. My personal weakness is my AO, which is Rika, Galleon, Bernard, and Tower. This AO just get completely wrecked by Will Ruins, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm recently thinking of making a slow Will Shield team. Of course you will add a stripper in here, so it will look something like Galleon, Rika, Aquila, and some other random AO. You make maybe a Mir or something. The reasoning behind this is that you can use a fast Galleon with Bernard with against things that don't have will, and you can use this kind against things that do have will. Pretty much slow will shield teams goes all the way up to Guardian, and you can pretty much use them as long as your ruins are good enough. My other AO is Chloe, Bulldozer, Immensity, Copper. Everything's on will, and I have one set of... No, I don't have shield runes, I just have will. So 4 sets of will in there, and then pretty much I can fight anything without a stripper. One thing to make sure is that your AD needs to counter Double Lucian. Double Lucian is, I still think, is the most common AO in Conquer, from Conq 1 to Conq 3. It doesn't work that well upwards like in Guardian because a lot of people have the counter to it, but in this current meta C1 to C3, Double Lucian is still very prevalent and must be considered something to keep away from. So things like Kumar, Sekhmet, Chloe, these are all kind of Lucian deterrents. Chloe is a little bit worse than the other two, but still pretty decent. I have Molly on, so I don't think people really want to double Lucian with me, even though Lucian is one of the better AoE nukers against Molly because he hits multiple times and Molly has a chance on every hit. So it kind of like scales out in a way, and then yeah. You would also want your AD to be tanky so the opponent cannot clear it fast, especially during Rush Hour. That's why a lot of people build Rina. I personally had never had a problem with Rina yet, but that could be because of the other team members supporting Rinas in my range is not that good yet, or the Rinas themselves aren't that good yet because my tower can one-shot them with the armor break, attack buff, armor break, shield, swift, speed buff. But that's because I have a tower. Not everyone has a tower, so yeah. Again, this is all subjective, and you must choose which monsters you think the combination is best. Of course, if you're at this part of the game, you should have pretty decent knowledge of the game already, so I don't think I need to talk too much about it. This video is mainly for this, how do you get past Fighter 3 or Conq 1 or Conq 2 or things like that. Mainly you'd have to make some monsters that are required for you to progress. As I said, for getting to Fighter 3, you just need Vermos Bella, a nuker, and some immunity. For Conq 1, you need one AO team that is very consistent. For Conq 2, you would need something that can AoE strip so that opponent will runes do not ruin your day. Strippers include Aquila, Soha, Tiana, Chiwu, Praha, Juno, Gianna. Yeah, all these are good strippers, and they are very important in this case. Orion is also very good in this case because he is a buff remover. He also provides attack bar, and he also provides some disruption to the opponent team. Anything that can provide disruption is good. That's why Segment is good, and that's why Kumar is good. Anyway, I think that's all we have for today. Thank guys for watching. I know it's just pretty much a long rant, and it might not be too informative to a lot of you guys, but this is my current perspective on how do you get past certain barriers in Arena. So if you like it, please press the like button, and subscribe. This is Thunderclan Gaming, and that's all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.